Hi, this is Christian Kastner, and that's my Leadership Wednesday video. Again, I received a question from one of my followers. His name is Ilkay. Ilkay is asking, what can I do as a manager to get my people on board when there's a crisis or an upcoming crisis or uncertain times? Well, Ilkay, there's one thing for sure. You as a leader, as someone who is leading an organization, are paid for to lead people through uncertain times. Tony Robbins said once a very important statement. He said, losers react, leaders anticipate. Losers react, leaders anticipate. So the very first thing what you are responsible as a leader, as someone who is in charge of an organization, is you have to know where the industry is going. You have to know what possible challenge is coming around the corner in, let's say, 6 months' time or 12 months' time. And nobody knows exactly what will happen. But the thing is, that industry is going through circles and going through up and downs. And sometimes it's more obvious than others. But right now we can see that the world economy is probably going down. Yeah. So you're responsible for anticipating what could happen and what can you do and what can your team do in order to coming best out of the situation. So the question is, how can you do this? I read once an important statement, and it said, if we can change the way we see a stressful situation and increase our own belief that we can cope with the situation, then we will worry less about the impact of the change. So some practical points how you can do this. So the first thing is to break something as slippery and fishy as crisis down to a specific level. Let's say the new crisis is coming, but you don't know how long it will last. Nobody knows, of course. So let's find a time frame which you can normally handle. And I would suggest it's probably 1 year. 1 year still is pretty frightening. So let's get down the 1 year into some months, let's say 12 months. And then you can check and see what can I do each month in order to, first of all, influence the whole process, and what can I do to coming out as a department, as a company better in the end. Practical wise, you could see and analyze what's happened in the past, what you have done in the last crisis. For example, have you introduced new products? Have you introduced new services? Have you maybe did some changes, organizational changes inside of your organization? Have you hired some new and specific people? What have you done regarding training? Did you give some extra training to the salespeople, for example? Or did you put some incentives out in order to getting some extra money? The question is, when you have analyzed and broken down the demands into more measurable size, then you can see what is your ability, how can you increase your ability to combat the change. Yeah, that could be, again, you could add some products, you could get some new partners, you can motivate your people inside, or you can get help from outside if you're not able to do it alone. For example, some trainers, some coaches, some people helping you, some agencies, some industry organizations. And what I found is also very important is to sit down with your people and get their opinion, because most of the time the people who are out there in front of the customer, they know much better than we in management what's really happening, what's going on, and what are the demands. So the talk sometimes has a therapeutical function as well, a coaching function. Yeah, that people, if they can talk about the change and the problems, they're feeling much better. Another thing what you have to do as a leader is to get the negative people inside of a group isolated. Don't allow them to influence the opinion of the others. And then promote the positive, promote the success, promote the things what you were able to introduce. Then it's much more likely that the crisis will hit you very hard. Thank you very much for watching. I am back next week.